Intimidation, I don't care what anybody says, plays a big factor still in the league.
Oh, Chelios hammered a man in the corner.
I get excited after I score the goal. I mean, that's what makes the hair on my neck stand up.
A breakaway for Hall. He's in. Hall, the shot, he scored!
Well, it's very scary every time you hear the word cancer. It was very emotional to get back on the ice.
Lemieux, and there's number 500.
It seemed that everything was always an uphill battle. There were a lot of times where, there were some muffled cries and mittens and things like that, or getting hit with a puck that hurt, and my brothers would give me that look like, you cry, you're going home.
Here is Shanahan, top of the circle.
I like to be exciting for the fans which we're playing for. Because basically that's what we're doing. We're playing hockey for the fans.
Pavel Bure, shorthanded, breakaway, score!
As Mark said, we got a lot of pressure here, but I think that we look to that as a motivator, and we get excited about it.
Blocked in front, rebound score! Wayne Gretzky!
It was a little bit scary because I thought at that time I'm never going to see my parents again.
Sergey Fedorov, dance around a check. He's in, he shoots, he scores!
People have to understand that my objective is winning every series or winning every game.
Lifting up that Stanley Cup for the first time it's a dream come true.
When you talk about NHL power players, you might as well start at the top. Mark Messier and Wayne Gretzky are among the NHL's all-time superstars, with individual and team accolades unparalleled in the sport. October of 1996 marked the great Gretzky's debut as a member of the New York Rangers. Under the hot lights and bright spotlight of the Big Apple, Gretzky was joined by Ranger captain Mark Messier at center ice, thus consummating a long-awaited reunion of two of the game's living legends, a duo that at one time was the core of one of the greatest teams in NHL history, the Edmonton Oilers of the 1980s. This powerhouse was shockingly dismantled when Gretzky was traded to Los Angeles.
Promised Mess I wouldn't do this. But as I said, there comes a time when
There was a time when the Edmonton Oilers were the best team in hockey. Dynasty applies to few teams in sports, but the Oilers earned that title. From 1984 to 88, the Edmonton Oilers won 4 Stanley Cup championships. Wayne Gretzky and Mark Messier were the dominant players on a team loaded with superstars. Over a 9-year span, Gretzky and Messier combined for 885 goals, 2,416 points, and 14 All-Star Game appearances. They are 1-2 on the NHL all-time playoff scoring list. Coach and GM Glenn Sather orchestrated this juggernaut. And when Gretzky tallied an incredible 50 goals in the first 39 games of the 81-82 season, NHL hockey would never be the same.
Here is an empty net chance for Gretzky with 5 seconds. He's moving in. Score!
Wayne coming into the league at that time really changed the way the whole game was played himself. And so Glenn had enough smarts to really realize that to put the players with him that could skate. And the Oilers really kind of changed the way the game was played for a long time. And I think because we were the first ones to do it, we really looked that much better than everybody else.
For Wayne Gretzky, scoring records and Stanley Cups bred monumental expectations. So when he was traded to the struggling Los Angeles Kings, he was expected not only to win a cup, but to save the franchise. Remarkably, Gretzky led his overachieving Kings to the 1993 Stanley Cup Finals.
And Zazzle takes the puck away from Robitaille. Robitaille gets it back center. He scores! Gretzky scores! And the Los Angeles Kings defeat the Maple Leafs.
As a member of the Kings, the Great One broke the most revered records in hockey.
Kings are down 4-3, trying to tie this game up. Off the draw, here's Lowe with a minute to go in the game. Lowe cleared to the blue line, held in by Duchesne. Duchesne's pass in deep to Taylor to Gretzky. He scores! He's done it! the puck. On the right to McSorley. Centered it to Gretzky. Scores! Wayne Gretzky! There it is! Number 802. As the fans now chant, Gretzky, Gretzky, Gretzky. Boy, I'll tell you, this guy has been something else, hasn't he? Oh.
Meanwhile, Mark Messier had become the man in Edmonton. And given the task of winning without Gretzky, he did just that, leading the Oilers to their 5th Stanley Cup in 1990. Mark Messier, the ultimate captain.
Mark is a natural leader. Some people are that way, and he just makes everyone around him feel part of the group, and he pushes people.
Second guy's got a better puck, can't turn away, gang.
He's always positive, and he motivates, and he's always cheering for his teammates.
Now we're going, boys, now we're skating. Get that blue line, boys, get that blue line defense, we can pass all the way.
And yet, he'd be the first one to pull me aside and say, hey, you gotta play better, you gotta be better, you gotta be stronger. That's good. When you respect someone, it's always nice to hear.
Like his friend Gretzky, Messier's success in Edmonton didn't guarantee his future there. On the eve of the 91 season, Messier was shipped to the New York Rangers, a franchise that hadn't won the Stanley Cup since 1940. Once again, Messier became the heart of his team. With the Rangers down 3-2 in the 94 conference finals to New Jersey, Messier boldly guaranteed victory.
Kovalev moving in. Kovalev to Messier. Messier shot. Score! They tied the game! Mark Messier! The bigger the game, the bigger Mark Messier plays. Leach drops it. Kovalev again. Save on the rebound. Score! Mark Messier gets his second goal. The Rangers lead 3-2. Mark Messier is writing the stuff of which legends are made. For the empty net, Mark Messier. Do you believe it? Do you believe it? He said we will win Game 6. He has just picked up the hat trick.
Messier's Rangers went on to beat the Devils, and then the Canucks for their first Stanley Cup in 54 years. And now their journey has come full circle. After 8 years as NHL opponents, today these lifelong friends are Ranger teammates. Wayne Gretzky and Mark Messier, NHL superstars, New York idols.
It was a gut decision that I made to accept less money and come to New York and have a chance to play with Mark again.
At this point of our careers now, it was expected of us back then to win, and I think here we are, how many years later, still expected to win.
Again, their history of success translates to the highest expectations. In New York, the pressure to win is unique. Together, Wayne Gretzky and Mark Messier will shoulder the burden and try to recapture the glory they shared a decade ago.
There's a ton of pressure here for people to do well and be successful.
The main thing is winning and wanting to win.
What a play!
We look to that as a motivator, and we get excited about it, and I think that we look forward to that challenge.
In the end, that's all we're really playing for anyways, is to win.
Two future Hall of Famers, together again for another run at hockey's ultimate prize. 5 scoring titles, 2 Stanley Cups, the only player to ever win the Calder, Hart, Ross, Smythe, and Masterton trophies. In French, Lemieux means the best. Mario Lemieux has spent a lifetime living up to his name. The legend of Lemieux began in his junior days playing for the Laval-Vasson of the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. The young Lemieux seemed to be a man playing among boys. In 1984, he set a record with 282 points in a season and was named the Canadian Major Junior Hockey Player of the Year. With this honor, the only place to go was up.
Pittsburgh, la premier choix de Pittsburgh, number 66, Mario Lemieux.
Lemieux was the first pick overall in the 1984 NHL entry draft. The struggling Pittsburgh Penguins hoped he would live up to his pre-draft hype. Lemieux wasted no time proving himself.
There is Mario Lemieux, and he is off, racing it all alone. Lemieux, his first shot on goal, and he scores! Mario Lemieux, living up quickly to all the advertisement.
Over his first 8 years, Lemieux would average 127 points per season. In 1991 and 92, he delivered back-to-back Stanley Cups to Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh Penguins win the Stanley Cup for the second consecutive year.
During this Stanley Cup run, Lemieux suffered from a herniated disc in his back, but he fought through the pain to achieve his goal. In 1993, however, he was faced with an even greater challenge.
Well, it's very scary every time you hear the word cancer, and it's associated with yourself or your family. It's very scary, and to learn that I had Hodgkin's disease and that I was going to be having to fight cancer for a few months or a few years, and that was a tough time in my life.
Lemieux underwent radiation therapy to try and beat this deadly disease. The treatments were successful, and the cancer went into remission. On March 2nd, 1993, Mario Lemieux returned to the Penguins lineup.
Well, whether they were standing already or not, this is a standing ovation for Mario Lemieux here at the Spectrum. It's nice to see.
His quest for a third consecutive cup was cut short as the effects of radiation and back pain took their toll. In 1994, Lemieux would make one of the most difficult decisions of his life.
I have decided to take a one-year medical leave from the game of hockey. When I made the announcement, I really thought that my career was over. One morning I was playing with my daughter and I couldn't pick her up off the floor, and that's when I stood back and thought about my future. I decided really to start working out at that time, slowly, and getting my strength back, and that's when I started to think that maybe I could play this game again.
Remarkably, Lemieux was back in uniform for opening night.
It was very emotional to get back on the ice, especially after everything that I went through last year. I was really anxious. I was counting the days down. The whole atmosphere during the day with the players and be back and be part of a team again. And it was very emotional.
Lemieux was back, and that was not good news for opposing goaltenders.
Right wing. Let's see what he does against Van Beekman. Comes in with a slam shot.
I certainly expected to come back here and be one of the best in the world. That's what I said when I started my comeback, that I didn't want to come back and be an average player.
My goodness. Well, there's not another guy on earth that can do that.
I was coming back to play at the level that I played a couple years ago and get back at the top of my game.
Here's Lemieux trying to change it, and he scores! Now Lemieux, and there's number 500! Mario Lemieux has become the second fastest 500-goal scorer in National Hockey League history.
If you're a hockey fan, you get a chance to see Mario Lemieux play this game. It's just incredible to watch.
All the accolades pale in comparison to one gift, the gift of life.
Everything happens in life for a reason. I'm very grateful that I'm still around to do the things that I love to do in this world, and hope to be around for a long time.
In his youth, Sergey Fedorov was proclaimed as the next great Soviet center for the fabled and feared Red Army team. His dramatic defection and ultimate emergence as an NHL superstar has made Fedorov a hockey legend in both his homeland and his adopted country.
Works his way to center. Sergey Fedorov danced around a check. He comes to the net. He's in. He shoots. He scores!
Winner of the 1994 Hart Trophy as the league's most valuable player, and two-time Selke Award winner as the NHL's best defensive forward, Fedorov brings an exuberance and joy to the game that rekindles memories of his early childhood in the former Soviet Union.
I think I was 3 years old. My mom took me to skate mostly at nighttime. When I skate on that pond, I felt so much freedom,
That freedom found on the ice was unique behind the Iron Curtain, and it shielded Fedorov from the harsh realities of Soviet rule.
I wasn't sure what it is all about, to be honest with you. I was very inexperienced, immature young person who tried to learn hockey, and I was so excited to play this game. I was loving it so much, and I didn't probably never crossed my mind those kind of things, intimidation, all that.
The Soviet system was simple and understood. Collectivism was encouraged, individualism was not. The state was the master of everyone's fate, and Sergey Fedorov became one of the many who toiled under the system. For most Russians, there was no escaping this oppression. But for the fortunate few athletes who were able to successfully defect, the NHL provided a welcome haven for them to demonstrate their skills and experience their freedom. In July 1990, Fedorov was in Portland representing the gold medal favorite Soviets at the Goodwill Games. A window of opportunity opened for him. Evaluating the risks, Fedorov stepped through it, leaving behind the only life he knew.
So I came up to Jimmy Lights and I said, probably Jimmy, let's go, or something like that. That's a couple words I know only. We went out of the back door. In 20 minutes we were up in the air. I thought at that time I'm never going to see my parents again. It was a little bit scary, a little bit exciting, probably more exciting than scary, because I'm not going to be starving to death here. And I know I can play a little bit of hockey, so I was willing to take some risk and some danger. What I do on the ice come to me automatically, because you got to do very quick things, very quick turns, shots, and this and that. If it's clicking for me, I'm going to do perfect, and it's going to go through. Goalie never would stand a chance, you know. If I'm thinking too much, it's not going to click for me, you know.
Here is Fedorov, moves ahead, he scores! There you go. There it is! Sergey Fedorov! Oh, my goodness! What a shot! Unbelievable wrist shot, unbelievable move.
After you've done your job, you score a goal or made a great pass, you can relax for a few seconds and think about over how that happened.
Right there at that point, that Kozlov is coming from behind him.
In '96, Fedorov led Detroit to an NHL regular season record 62 wins. The Stanley Cup, however, continues to elude them. But Fedorov's spectacular skills have elevated him to the most rarefied heights of his game. The freedom and joy he felt on that pond in Russia are still essential elements in the awesome arsenal of talent Fedorov commands today. His unique blend of talent and personality made Fedorov the ideal choice to be the first non-North American Nike spokesman.
He's very creative, and he's, to put it simply, a pain in the ass to play against.
Jeremy had a great time. He hit me might be 18 times. Once or twice, he smashed his face off the glass. It was pretty fun to do.
Whether deking or deflecting, Fedorov has become synonymous with excitement to hockey fans the world over. The former Soviet center
Pretty cool, huh?
is now a fashion-setting NHL superstar, enjoying his freedom and all the perks that go along with it. Fedorov's new teammate might be the piece that will solve their Stanley Cup puzzle. He's a coach's dream. Brendan Shanahan is that rare athlete who combines offensive skills with a passion for physical contact.
Known around the league as a power forward, a big man who can be intimidating. Shanahan, the hot hand.
A deadly shooter, Shanahan is a marksman with power who has twice topped 50 goals.
And one thing about Brendan Shanahan, he's got one of the best shots in the league.
His immense talent was showcased globally at the '96 World Cup. But it's Brendan's personality that makes him such a hit with the media.
Breakaway in hockey is when a player goes one-on-one with the goalie.
Shanahan! Oh, baby!
See, they love me. Good. That's a real picture.
Yeah, that's the real picture.
At least $500.
Really, 500? That much?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this.
Despite his celebrity, Shanahan's retained his humble sense of humor.
It took me like a month to score my first goal.
No.
Yeah, it was really overdue.
Drops to Shanahan, the shot, he scores! First NHL goal for Brendan Shanahan.
Guy came over to like kind of give me a little pat and go way to go. Like for him, it's just another goal. For me, it was the first one in my career. I grabbed him by the head and kissed him.
Brendan's self-deprecating style comes from growing up as the smallest child in a big family.
I grew up the youngest of 4 boys, and quite a bit younger too. It seemed that everything was always an uphill battle, whether it was getting my food first or running out, being called for dinner and having to race up the stairs, and someone was always grabbing me by the pant leg and yarding me down, climbing over top of me, and everything was a battle. And when we played sports, I always wanted to play. When they were playing road hockey, they didn't really take it easy on me. They kind of said, you can play, but if you play, there's no crying, no running home if you get hurt. So there were a lot of times where, there were some muffled cries and mittens and things like that, or getting hit with a puck that hurt, and my brothers would give me that look like, you cry, you're going home.
Brendan matured quickly while living out a Canadian dream. He developed his game in major junior hockey, and at age 18, broke through to the NHL. 4 years later, he was playing with his idols in the '91 Canada Cup.
In the dressing room, I remember taping a stick, and realizing this, before our first game, and looking around and seeing like Wayne Gretzky, Mark Messier, Paul Coffey, guys like that stretching, taping sticks, and about to go out and put on the same sweater as me, and I was about to play on their team. So I remember getting really nervous, and it was thrilling.
Shanahan provided some thrills of his own in the '96 World Cup as the leading scorer for Team Canada.
Dropped it. Shanahan shoots, scores! Shanahan ties the game. What a rocket!
A classic power forward, Shanahan is a warrior who never shies away from the physical game.
You got to do whatever it takes to win, and that means taking one for the team. You've got to do that, and if it means dishing one out, you've got to do that as well.
In a shocking result, Team USA upset Canada to win the inaugural World Cup. Despite the painful loss, Brendan can still laugh about hockey and his early attempts to trace the roots of the game.
I did a project about grade 2. I did some research, and it was the Iroquois Indians. The Iroquois Indians were playing ice hockey, at the time on the St. Lawrence River. They had skates, bones for skates, and they had these sticks and were hitting this rock, or I don't think it was a puck back then, but they were yelling, I wrote this in a project, I got a good mark, but they were yelling, "Hokey," which in their native meant it hurts. Somebody might look this up and say I'm insane, or somebody might look it up and say he's right, but I remember distinctly having that in my project, and I don't think my imagination is that great that I would have made it up. So it was hokey or something like that, which meant that it hurts.
For Chicago native and Blackhawk defensive superstar Chris Chelios, the inaugural World Cup of Hockey will always be remembered fondly.
Playing for your country, playing against other countries, especially Canada with the pride they have in their hockey, it got a little emotional. It was as competitive as the Stanley Cup. I'd say it was just as competitive as playing for the Stanley Cup. And in a short-term tournament like that, I thought it was great.
With Chelios leading a rock-solid defense and Mike Richter providing impenetrable goaltending, Team USA skated to a perfect 4-0 record, and this country began to take notice.
The people that play hockey in our general fan base will tell you it's the best hockey they've ever seen. And after watching a few of the tapes, I really believe it.
In Game 1 of the World Cup Finals against Canada, Team USA was 10 seconds away from suffering its first loss when lightning struck.
Back to Leach, and a save, Joseph, rebound, score!
But the celebration was short-lived. In overtime, Steve Yzerman's goal put Canada one win away from the World Cup championship. It seemed the clock had struck midnight for Team USA.
We put ourselves in a pretty bad situation. I don't think if you ask anybody in the team after that game, we had a chance to go up to Montreal and beat them 2 games. We knew we were in for a battle with them.
The Molson Center in Montreal would be the site for Game 2, and if necessary, Game 3. With the title on the line, both teams and countries dug in for the second game, a contest fiercely fought for the right to be called world champion.
we dreamed of when we first heard there'd be a World Cup of hockey.
Moving in is Claude Lemieux. A shot into the post. Tries to pass on ahead, can't do it. Keith Kachuk ahead, the net empty. He scores! 4-2, Team USA. Team USA has defeated Team Canada.
The World Cup of Hockey was down to 1 game. Tied after 2 periods, Canada looked to end a U.S. challenge.
But it's Foot with a shot. He scores!
But then, with under 4 minutes to play, Team USA opened the floodgates.
Waiting for it is Lee. Shoots one, deflected, score! The game is tied with 3:18 to go. Hatcher with it, shoots one, save, rebound, score! Amandi has broken the tie!
When Brett scored the goal, you know, we tied it and everybody's excited. Tony scored the goal, it was just kind of, everybody's in shock. And you know, I guess it was just meant to be. It happened so quick and in a matter of 4 or 5 minutes, and there we were carrying the cup. You know, we're pretty proud of the 25 guys that were in the coaching staff that were involved in that. It's something special, and we'll share that for a long time. And that was maybe the last time we played against players like Gretzky, you know, Messier, Coffey, those guys. And to me, that is the tournament to be in. It's the best tournament. And, you know, to beat them, I was really proud of that. It was right up there with winning the Stanley Cup.
And Chris should know, in 1986, just his second full season, Chelios teamed up with rookie Patrick Waugh and helped the Montreal Canadiens to their 22nd Stanley Cup. He spent 7 years in Montreal before being traded to the Blackhawks. Growing up on the south side of Chicago, Chris had become a hockey fanatic 20 years earlier in the Windy City.
Every kid wanted to play hockey back then. Everybody wanted to be Dick Butkus, and I couldn't be Dick Butkus, so I decided to play hockey. I think the youth hockey was really competitive. We played against other states and traveled quite a bit. Chicago's got some great youth hockey now.
And it's that youth hockey which keeps Chris traveling to the Chicago suburbs these days to see the next generation of Chelios play. Jake, age 5, and Dean, age 7.
All right, here's his chance right here. Here he goes, he's gonna score. Oh! You got a little Jake gets out there, he's a clown. A goof. Come on, Dean. Good play. Jake keeps coming on the ice. He ain't supposed to be on the ice. He keeps sneaking on.
Just starting out, Jake and Dean are having the time of their young lives, sharing something they love with a father who's regarded by many as the best U.S.-born hockey player ever.
Nichols put it to Chelios, coming late, moves in, face out of it, now shoots, he scores! Hawks win! Chelios caught the play! Savard walks in front of the net center, Chelios right in, Hawks win! Hawks win again! Chris Chelios in overtime! Here's the center, he gets Chelios out of midair, what a goal!
A 7-time NHL All-Star, Chelios continues to study his opponents.
I'm gonna do a little vintage Mario move. Watch this.
Fourth shooter, Chris Chelios. He scores.
Oh, I know that. I watched you all get all this stuff going.
Great play, Chelios. That's why he is a Norris Trophy candidate.
And 3-time winner as the league's best defenseman.
Oh boy. First of all, I'm going to thank my wife, Tracy, for the first time because I forgot the other times, and when I did remember, I never won it, so.
A class act off the ice, this Dr. Jekyll turns into Mr. Hyde on skates.
I'd rather watch a highlight of me just clotheslining somebody than scoring a goal. You know, it's a great feeling. I guess it's like a fighter and a knockout punch. Everybody'd rather see the big hit. Intimidation, I don't care what anybody says, plays a big factor still in the league.
Oh, Chelios hammering a man in the corner.
Chicago, they're known for their aggressiveness and their toughness, and that's how I wanted to be known for. I'd much rather cut someone in half than score a goal any day.
Oh, I wouldn't say he's that tough. His younger sister used to beat the heck out of him when they were little. She always used to compete with him and always used to come out ahead.
Chris's hockey career has come full circle. Opening Chelly's Chili Bar in his hometown is one way of keeping touch with his fans. As for the most popular item on the menu,
this is the best chili in the world, right there, with the best name on it too.
Well, when I come here after the games, and if we lose, I don't show up. My parents run the place, and it's a fun place. It's basically just a hockey crowd. You know, I think the people enjoy seeing the players after the game here.
Thank you very much.
When the kids come, and it's not often the kids get a chance to meet the Blackhawks. I know I never did when I was a kid, so this is a great spot for them to meet the players.
Good luck, buddy, huh?
Chris is great. He would never turn down a kid, and he gets a bigger kick out of watching a kid get, that gleam in their eyes than anything. That means more to him than winning games or scoring goals. Kids mean a lot to him.
Yeah, played well.
At least we're winning now, huh?
Yeah.
Winning on and off the ice. Brett Hull is a scoring machine for the St. Louis Blues, averaging 60 goals a season in the 1990s. He and Chris Chelios shared in the glory of USA's World Cup championship. But when they put their NHL uniforms on, Hull spends the entire game trying to outfox the captain of the Blackhawks.
They draw the hog zone, bounce to the side of the net. Hull picked up a midair.
Deacon beat Chelios to it, and then Brett Hull was there behind him.
I'll never try to embarrass anybody. I won't pump my arms or jump like Mike Foligno or things like that. If I'm doing those things, in Chris Chelios, after I score, is thinking in his mind, Hull, what's he doing out there, embarrassing me or running the score up? But I don't need me on his mind. That's why I tell the coaches after I score, I like to have a new lineup there right away just to get me out of everyone's mind. So next time when I go out there, Chris Chelios isn't going, there he is, there he is over here. He's just playing his game, and then I just come in again, and all of a sudden I'm there again.
Hull has been outsmarting NHL defenses for a decade, winning the 91 MVP and 3 goal-scoring titles. No one shuts down the Golden Bread.
For Hull, he shoots, he scores! Oh, baby, another beauty! Hull works in, does a spin, works it alone, shoots, he scores! He's amazing, folks. He is incredible. Oh, baby, what a play.
I get excited after I score the goal. I mean, that's what makes the hair on my neck stand up.
Breakaway for Hull. He's 2 men short. He's in. Hull, the shot, he scored! What a turn of events. Brett Hull.
Brett's amazing talent comes from a superior gene pool. His father, Bobby Hull, was the most exciting player of the 1960s, streaking down the left wing for the Chicago Blackhawks.
In front again. Here's Bobby Hull. Chicago ties it up. Bobby Hull scores.
But trying to follow in the steps of a superstar was no easy task.
I mean, he's a Hall of Famer. He was the greatest player or one of the greatest players of his generation. And you just, as a kid, to live up to something of that nature is impossible. And kids can be cruel, and it was at times very difficult, not only for me, but for my brothers. And I think that's probably one of the main reasons I'm the only one who made it. I just went on my own course. I went out and just had fun playing, and I said, if I make it, I make it, but I'm going to have fun trying.
Fans have always had fun cheering the Hulls. Just like Bobby before him in Chicago, Brett is adored in St. Louis.
The Hull shot, he scored! Oh, what a shot from the slot, Brett Hull, and they go wild here at Giel.
500 of Hull's devoted fans showed up for this midweek autograph session. The city has adopted its #1 star.
From day one when I got here, the people have treated me like I was born and raised here.
He makes St. Louis, something. Instead of most of these cities, you don't have no big stars really, and he makes St. Louis pretty much stick out.
Every time I've seen him, he's been really polite and great guy. We need guys like him, more of them.
And why do you like Brett Hull so much?
I don't know. He's just my idol. I don't know.
He's just your idol, huh? They fall in love with their players, and as long as those players go out and play hard and entertain them and do good things for them in the community, they'll come out and support you, win, lose, or tie. Hi, guys. How are you?
All right, Holly.
Thank you.
As usual, Brett encountered a packed house, but he didn't stop signing until every fan left with a smile on their face. A father himself, Brett has passed the Hull bloodline to his son Jude. Could there be another Hull destined for the NHL?
But right now it looks like he could play almost any sport he wants with the ability he has. So, whatever he wants to do, I'm going to try to. He's going to be raised here in St. Louis, and hopefully he can come and strap on the blue note one day.
He shoots and scores! Oh, baby! Hull does it again!
No one can get NHL fans out of their seat faster than Pavel Bure. Ever since he stormed into the league as a teenager in 1991, Bure has become hockey's greatest entertainer.
That's what I think about myself. You know, I try to be exciting player for the fans which we're playing for. Because basically that's what we're doing. We're playing hockey for the fans.
To Bure again, looking for the ex-Devil Greg Adams, number 8. He was at the hash marks. Now Bure works his way out.
When he's in top gear, Pavel Bure is a blur on the ice.
Look at Bure flying, and here comes Bure. Look at him go. Given for Bure, one-on-one with Zubov. Zubov in front, Bure the move. Bure the backhand. Bure tried to draw, running, scores!
As soon as he let Bure go, the problem began for the New York Rangers because he exploded around Zubov.
I think it's really important for my game when sometimes I'm just feel I'm flying there.
Speed is a big part of the Russian Rocket's lifestyle, including the cars that he drives.
I think I drive pretty fast, but you know, I still try to stay with the legal speed. I think I pass more people than passed me. I just enjoy to drive this car every day. It's pretty fast, you know, it's a V12, and I got a lot of room inside when my friends come in town and see me. It's really comfortable because you can operate the car just with one hand, and it's really smooth and comfortable. And I also have that car, red Ferrari, and you know, I choose a red because I think Ferrari is supposed to be red. That's the color of Ferrari. It's more like a toy, I think, for me. You know, I don't drive every day, sometimes when it's sunny, and it's a really fast car, and it's a sport car, and just fun to drive.
The Bure fascination with speed runs in the family. His father, Vladimir, who trains Pavel in Vancouver, was a 3-time Olympic swimming medalist for the Soviet Union. Vladdy intended to raise another swimmer, but young Pavel had different aspirations.
He always asked me, Dad, I want to be a hockey player. I say, no, you're a swimmer. But he always asked me, oh, I want to go to the hockey school, can you put me in a program? And I decide, why not?
Pavel's passion for hockey helped him enter the elite Red Army program. From Moscow, he made the leap to the NHL, where he's carved out an impressive legacy. 1992 Rookie of the Year and consecutive 60-goal seasons.
Speed is one thing, but being able to handle the puck with the speed, that's another thing.
Bure's amazing run through the 1994 playoffs brought the Canucks within a single goal of the Stanley Cup.
Lincoln finds Bure on the breakaway. Scores! The Russian Rocket. Running. Rebound. Score! Oh my goodness.
Since I got here, I heard a lot about Stanley Cup. Wow, we got to win Stanley Cup, but you can't understand till you'll get there. So now I know how it feels to be even in the final. You know, I don't think we could get any closer. We lost Stanley Cup by 1 goal. The 7 game and the 3-2. And it was really disappointing for us.
A year and a half later, Pavel faced another disappointment, a career-threatening knee injury.
I think it would be happened 10 years ago. I would be over for me. I wouldn't be able to play hockey anymore.
I guess it's worst time in his hockey life.
But with the help of his father and today's technology, Bure willed his shredded knee back into playing shape.
It was a really tough time for me, but you know, I'm really happy I came back and I'm playing the game which I love.
But questions lingered prior to the 96-97 season. Would Bure be the same electrifying performer? The critics got their answer in a preseason game against Boston.
Here goes Bure. Pavel Bure, shorthanded breakaway, score! Now we're all going to want to watch this replay, and we still won't believe it. Unbelievable.
The Russian Rocket, back at full speed in Vancouver. When the Quebec Nordiques became the Colorado Avalanche, the Stanley Cup playoffs seemed a reasonable goal. But no one could have imagined that at the end of the 96 season, Lord Stanley's Cup would be hoisted over the heads of these players. At the center of this group, perhaps the least surprised of all, stood Patrick Waugh, one of the fiercest competitors in NHL history. Winning a championship was hardly new to Waugh, but what made this one so sweet was the feeling of self-satisfaction. Growing up in Quebec, playing for the Nordiques was his dream, but it was not his fate. At age 18, he was drafted by the Montreal Canadiens.
When you get to the NHL, you know, the chance to be drafted, you don't care anymore where you're going to end up. And if there's a place probably you would love to end up because of the tradition of the team, the dynasty of the team, it's Montreal.
Here comes Sandstrom. He shoots glove save. What a save by Patrick Waugh. Mullins trying to keep it in. A shot, loose back in front. Oh, Patrick Waugh's got it.
He's a good goalie, this guy.
Waugh's first season in goal for the Canadiens earned him his first Stanley Cup.
When we won the Cup, it was like, I don't know, it's something that could happen every year. And it was kind of funny for me to see the guys like Larry Robinson and Craig Ludwig grab each other and tears in their eyes. And I was like, wow.
In '93, when the Canadiens made it back to the Stanley Cup Finals, this three-time Vezina Trophy winner as the league's top goaltender refused to be distracted from his goal.
Great save by Waugh. Robitaille centering. Robitaille again. Huge save by Patrick Waugh.
It's probably the first time when somebody said you were in the zone.
Goes over the line. Now the pass. Rebound. Waugh made a big save. The Canadiens have three of them in a shot here. And Waugh grabs this one and hangs on. The Sandstrom coming very close.
The will of Waugh and the clutch play of the Canadiens were too much for Los Angeles as Montreal defeated the Kings in 5 games. Once again, this extraordinary champion experienced hockey's ultimate moment.
Turn it up, listen, and look at the sound of a Stanley Cup champion.
I always learned something from Montreal, and it was winning. Because I think playing NHL, that's what it's about. It's winning the Stanley Cup, and athletes have a crack at it every year.
Patrick would not be able to relive that magic in Montreal. On December 6, 1995, he was traded to Colorado. The Avalanche were happy recipients of this goaltending phenomenon.
Number 33, Patrick Waugh.
The former rival brought a new bravado and sense of confidence that was infectious to his teammates.
The shot saved by Waugh.
Just got that attitude that you know, we're gonna win, and you just can't take that away from a guy like that. And when he brings that out, and the rest of us, we're a pretty tough team to beat.
Patrick Waugh, as you know, we've found out, has that air about him. Patrick Waugh was the legend.
Distanced from the scrutiny and dissection of the Montreal microscope, Colorado provided Waugh with a fresh start. Relaxed and rejuvenated, Patrick regained focus on the ice. And as the '96 playoffs began, it was a familiar, confident Waugh.
Yeah, it should have been a penalty shot, there's no doubt about it. I like Patrick's quote that he would have stopped me. I just want to know where he was in Game 3.
I can't really hear what Jeremy says because I got my 2 Stanley Cup rings plug in my ear.
Armed with his inner spirit, Waugh returned to his rightful place, the Stanley Cup Finals. Against the Cinderella Florida Panthers, Waugh's postseason experience proved invaluable, allowing only 4 goals as the Avalanche swept the first 3 games.
Brown down for a throw behind Garpenal. Play out there for Garpenal. Going in. Waugh down, rebound. Another shot. Waugh stopped them all.
Well, thank God they scored 2 because they would have to leave with their rat in their pocket or in their hand, and it would be sad for them.
Game 4 was an epic battle as the much-anticipated goaltending duel between Waugh and John Van Beesbrook finally materialized. After 60 minutes of exhilarating hockey, both goalies were still perfect. The game would go into triple overtime as neither goaltender was willing to relent.
Big 2-on-2, Sakic, Reichel cutting ahead of him. Sakic save, Reichel. The Browns won, Niedermeyer in front, the shot on Waugh, still loose. Patrick Waugh covers it up in the crease.
104 minutes into the game, Uwe Krupp's slap shot escaped Van Beesbrook, and Patrick Waugh was once again a Stanley Cup champion.
congratulations.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Not as well as you guys are doing.
Yes, we're having a great time here. We're all feeling pretty good. This team worked very hard to achieve the goal of the Stanley Cup, and we certainly wish you the best come this November.
Well, I'd like to have a sweep like you did.
We heard that you finally break 8-8, and we just want to congratulate you on the golf course.
Waugh's third championship cemented his place among hockey's goaltending elite.
My objective is winning every series or winning every game. And I will do everything impossible to win games if I feel it's important, if I have to do it. And I got a lot of confidence in myself because I know I can go out there and produce. And I'm not scared to do everything that's going to help us to win. There's only one way to be known as a winner is if you win the Stanley Cup. And as soon as you win the Stanley Cup, your name is on the cup. There's nobody who will take that away from you. And people will always remember you as a winner.
Also inscribed on the cup is the name of the Avalanche offensive star and team captain. From the sun-drenched scenic mountains of Colorado, an unassuming hero has emerged in the mile-high city of Denver. This is the story of a quiet, soft-spoken NHL Stanley Cup champion, Joe Sakic, whose life and career seem to have risen to their summit since the Quebec Nordiques franchise moved west.
Everybody was excited about the news that we're moving to Denver. We heard so many good things about this city, and we moved here a month before training camp just to get used to it, and you know, we just loved it. There's so much to do here. More importantly, I think the way we were treated from not only the fans but all the people here in Denver, it was amazing because everybody's so nice, and it just made us feel real welcome.
Joe Sakic has come a long way from his days growing up in his quiet hometown of Burnaby, British Columbia, on the outskirts of Vancouver. It was here the seeds of a budding NHL All-Star were planted.
We always played hockey as kids and always watched Hockey Night in Canada. Back then, my friend was always Mark Messier and I was Wayne Gretzky, so we had our battles, and that's usually the two we were. And I still remember those days. We'd always jump the fence to get into school and bring the nets over and play every Sunday. Well, I guess as a kid, you always dream about playing pro hockey. But once I got to junior, I really got to work on the skills and things like that because we're on the ice every day. It got tiring near the end of the year. We weren't used to it, but it was well worth it.
From the Colorado Avalanche, number 19, Joe Sakic.
Joe's boyhood dreams became reality by becoming a 5-time NHL All-Star and being named to the Canadian World Cup team. But success did not come overnight. In Sakic's 8 NHL seasons, he's emerged from quiet rookie to NHL superstar.
Even now, I'm not really that vocal in the dressing room. When things have to be said, I'll say it, but over the years, really started to work harder in practice and try and lead by example.
Sakic beats one man, beats another guy. Here he comes right in. He scores! What a brilliant goal by Sakic! Sakic carries and shoots. He scores! And to Sakic, 2-on-1 break. Sakic right in, he scores! In front, Sakic shoots. He scores!
Joe Sakic's quiet confidence helped the Avalanche steamroll into the 1996 Stanley Cup playoffs as the team and their captain looked to change the fortunes of the franchise in the postseason.
We knew it was going to be tough, and it was. More mentally than anything, there was a lot of pressure on us, and to get by the first round, the franchise hadn't done that in a long time, and to get by that, it really calmed us and relaxed us for the next series.
Joe Sakic, MVP kind of playoff season continues.
Scoring a league-leading 18 playoff goals and adding 16 assists, Sakic was named the Conn Smythe Trophy winner as the playoffs' most valuable player. But Joe's modesty prevents him from basking in the spotlight.
Obviously, things went well for me in that playoffs, but I think that doesn't happen if we don't have the team we had. We had a solid team right from goaltending on, and a great coaching staff, and I think everybody was playing their best hockey at the right time, and that was the difference. It wasn't just one player or one or two guys. I It was a total combined team effort.
You are crying you cannot skate with us. Nearly 3 minutes played in the second period. Colorado has started to take over and moving in. It's Sakic in the breakaway. Score! Joe Sakic!
Hey, Colorado fans, how great does it feel? Woo!
Joe Sakic and his teammates realized a dream come true. A dream born in the heart of a child.
Because, you know, you always think as a kid what it'd feel like, but you really don't know. And it's lifting up that Stanley Cup for the first time. It's a dream come true. You finally accomplished what you dreamed of.